Lagos Traffic Radio. Here is the news at noon. First, the highlight. Lagos State government clarifies statewide ban on single-use plastics as enforcement begin on July 1st. Federal government unveils heavy investment in surveillance, intelligence gathering equipment to secure nation's border. And on foreign scene, Russia's strike on training exercise kills 6 Ukrainian soldiers, injure 10 others. And in sport, Super Falcons coach invites 23 players to camp ahead friendlies against Cameroon. Now the news in details. I am Timmy Dayo Anthony. The Lagos State government has again clarified that its statewide ban on single-use plastic, which enforcement comes into effect on July 1st, does not include PET bottles, water sachets, and nylon carrier bags of more than 40 micron thickness. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made the latest clarification while reacting to deliberate viral misrepresentations by some people that the ban involves all categories of single-use plastic. According to the commissioner, the position of the state government has not changed. Not only single-use plastic consisting of styrofoam food packs and all forms of disposable cups are banned. Wahab said as part of moves to demonstrate the state's seriousness, it has already inaugurated the newly created Plastic Waste Management Fund, which is a collaborative effort between the state government, the producers, and the producers' responsibility organizations. He said the Plastic Waste Management Fund will be financed by contributions from producers and major importers and will be jointly managed to address plastic waste challenges in the state. Wahab reiterated the determination of the state government to go ahead with the enforcement of the ban on July 1st after the expiration of moratorium of 18 months, which it had given since the announcement of the intention to effect the ban on January 2024. The Lagos State Materials Testing Laboratory Agency, LSTML, has charged non-technical consultants of the agency to ensure that no community is left behind in the quest to avert building disaster through issuance of test notices for buildings investigations across Lagos State. General Manager of the agency, Olayinka Abdul, gave the charge at the scheduled meeting with the NTC members as part of efforts to overcome challenges posed by newer developments across the state. While calling for proactive measures in combating unapproved structures in riverine communities, the General Manager informs that Lagos State is evolving at an unprecedented rate and growth, and it must not exclude those in the hard-to-reach settlements like the riverine communities, which recent survey reveals have newer structural projects that are disrupting ideal construction processes. Abdul advocated the adoption of professionalism through wearing the branded uniform by the agency and the use of assigned building codes in aligning with the revamped design of the agency to adequately protect Lagos residents against mishap caused by building collapse. An overnight rainfall on Tuesday has led to the escape of 7 inmates from the Medium Security Custodial Center in Ilesha, Osun State, after the facility's old perimeter wall collapsed. According to the Nigeria Correctional Service, the breach was caused by the structural failure of the wall during the storm. Spokesperson for the NCOS, Omar Abubakar, in a statement noted that authorities have since launched a manhunt to locate and return the escapees to custody. The Controller General of the Corrections, Sylvester Nwakochi, has ordered an immediate investigation into the incident. He assured the public that efforts have been intensified in collaboration with other security agencies and local community leaders. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government, through the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjioju, says Nigeria invested heavily in surveillance and intelligence gathering equipment at the nation's border point. Tunjioju stated this in Lagos at the regional workshop on maritime border security with the theme, Regional Maritime Border Security in the context of counter-terrorism in the Gulf of Guinea. The minister explains that Nigeria has advanced passenger information, API, used to profile passengers coming into the country. According to him, the API was used to query the passengers' records and antecedents and travel history. Tunjioju said the country is now an international obligation to international colleagues. by being able to uphold the tenets of the UN resolution of the API solution. Earlier, the Controller General of Immigration, Kemi Nandap, said the service plays a pivotal role in maritime border security by ensuring that foreign terrorist fighters and other criminal elements do not exploit the nation's territorial integrity. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutwang has inaugurated an 11-member fact-finding committee in response to the ongoing attacks and killings across the state. Mutwang said the committee was mandated to identify persons responsible for the attacks and their possible motives and sponsors, identifying possible routes for the bandits into the state and recommend measures to limit their access. The committee is also to recommend how to stop further occurrences and appropriate support to identified persons and communities. The governor lamented that the state was in the news for the wrong reasons and expressed worry over the negative publicity being attracted to the state as a result of the killings. And now to foreign news. Ukraine's National Guard says a Russian missile strike on a training exercise in Ukraine's Sumy border region has killed 6 servicemen and wounded more than 10 others. Russia's defense ministry had earlier released a video purporting to show an Iskander missile attack on a training camp, and state news agencies said up to 70 people had died. The Sumy region had come under repeated bombardments, and Ukraine launched a month-long occupation of part of Russia's neighboring Kursk region from there. The Ukrainian military says the aim of the offensive had been to help create a buffer zone to protect Sumy, but some have complained of the scale of military losses. And now to sports. Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has invited 23 players, among them captain Rashidat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, defender Michel Alozie, midfielder Tony Payne, and forward Risola Babajide for the upcoming 2 friendly matches against Indomitable Lioness of Cameroon. The Falcons and the Lioness will face off at the Remo Star Stadium, Ikene Remo, on Saturday, 31st May, before a second confrontation at the MKO Abiola Sport Complex in Abeokuta on Tuesday, 3rd of June. While the Falcons will use the matches as part of their preparations for the 13th Women Africa Cup of Nations taking place in Morocco from July 5 to 26th. The Lioness will use the games to stay in shape for future challenges, having failed to qualify for this year's Women AFCON final. All invited players are being directed to arrive at the camp on Monday, May 26. Nigeria will be up against Tunisia, Algeria, and Botswana in Group B of the 13th Women AFCON in Morocco. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can also follow us on like all the social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 961 FM, Instagram is Lagos Traffic Radio 961. You can also subscribe and watch our news and program live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website, which is www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, 18,000 teachers were trained under the Eco Excel? You can get more details on Lagos State Government's website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has again clarified that its statewide ban on single-use plastics, which enforcement comes into effect on July 1st, does not include PET bottles, water sachets, and nylon carrier bags of more than 40 micron thickness. The federal government, through the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjioju, said Nigeria has invested heavily in surveillance and intelligence gathering equipment at the nation's border point. He also told you that Ukraine's National Guard said a Russian missile strike on a training exercise in Ukraine's Sumy border region has killed 6 servicemen and wounded more than 10 others. And in sports, Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has invited 23 players, among them a captain Rashidat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, defender Michel Alozie, midfielder Tony Payne, and forward Risola Babajide for the upcoming 2 friendly matches against the Indomitable Lioness of Cameroon. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbalagun. I am Timi Dayo Anthony. Many thanks for listening.